Hi there, it's Laura Anderson with the Voice of Laura Anderson podcast. Happy 4th of July weekend. Today is an awesome day because it's the day that the musical Hamilton becomes available for everyone to see via Disney+. My middle school daughter is so excited to see Hamilton, as am I. One of my favorite celebrity interviews from my 25-year career in broadcast radio was with actor Daveed Diggs in 2018. Daveed played Thomas Jefferson and Marquis de Lafayette in the Broadway musical Hamilton. Daveed was very intelligent, personable, and real, and he graciously answered questions from fifth graders. Keep listening to find out how that came to be, as well as one thing Daveed likes about Thomas Jefferson, the twist of how a major scene in the movie Wonder, where he played teacher Mr. Brown, was filmed, his tribute to teachers, and the adjective Daveed uses to describe himself in everyday life. Hi, Daveed. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, thank you. It's a pleasure to be talking with you from Savannah, Georgia.
Hey.
This is very exciting, and I'll tell you why. My daughter's in fifth grade. Her class just a few weeks ago finished reading Wonder. They found out yesterday that teachers will be able to take the kids to see Wonder on December 19th. And when I found out that I would be interviewing you, I sent the teachers a message and I said, if you're interested, I'll be interviewing Daveed Diggs, who plays Mr. Brown, and you could send some questions. Well, when I picked up my daughter yesterday, she had 2 pages of questions, and I heard that some of the kids were crying. They had tears of joy in their eyes when they found out I'd be talking to you. Because you're in Hamilton, too.
Yeah.
So this is quite a pleasure.
That's adorable.
They actually have a Hamil fan club among some of the kids in class.
Oh, my God.
I hope you don't mind. I'm going to ask their questions. They had some great ones.
Yeah, of course.
Talking with Daveed Diggs, Mr. Brown in the movie version of Wonder. Why did you choose to be in Wonder?
Well, I had a few things lined up right after I left him. I shot this the day I left Hamilton. Like I had my last show, and the next day I went to DC to host a poetry slam, and the next day that same evening I flew to Vancouver to start shooting this. We had a few things lined up already, and I was supposed to get a week off, but then this script showed up, and it was so sweet. And I don't know, just felt important. I hadn't read the books yet, but it felt like the kind of film I would like to be a part of, and one I hadn't seen very often. One that was really managed to sort of impart good knowledge and fun lessons, but didn't feel preachy and never felt like it was manipulating you. So I loved the script, and then I talked to the director, Stephen Chbosky, on the phone, and he sounded great, and I happened to have 4 days free, so we went and shot it.
So it only took you 4 days?
I only shot for 4 days, yeah, which was totally crazy.
Why did you choose the part?
Squeezed in between Hamilton and Tour de Pharmacy. I left into the next day, which is also funny.
You're a man of many talents, of everything from sports scholarship. You're well educated. You're a rapper. You're an actor. And, the Broadway, you won a Tony Award for your dual role in Hamilton. But you had taught also, and you're a teacher in the movie. Did you choose the part of Mr. Brown for that reason?
No, I mean, Mr. Brown was offered to me, but when I told Stephen that I used to teach, he got particularly excited about it. And I loved that. I mean, I miss teaching quite a bit, but I stopped because the rest of my life got to a point where it was difficult to be a good teacher, and I wasn't willing to be another mediocre teacher. I think kids have plenty of those. And so I have a huge amount of respect for teachers, and in particular the ones who really choose it as this is the thing you want to do with your life. It's so important, and it is underappreciated and very underpaid. So it felt good to me to get to portray like a really great teacher. A lot of times in films for young audiences, the teachers are the antagonists, and it was nice to play one that was a champion.
We're talking with Daveed Diggs, known for his dual role in Hamilton, but also in the new movie Wonder, and you play the teacher, Mr. Brown. I saw an interesting interview with you about that. The main character is Augie. He's a boy who had not gone to school for the first 4 grades because of a facial deformity. He'd been through many surgeries, but still didn't look like the rest of the kids. And so the first day of 5th grade, it's his first day in public school. And they did something interesting with that in the movie with the other kids to get a reaction. Can you explain that to us and how it came out?
Yeah, so Stephen never let any of the other kids or anybody else, me either, see the makeup that Jacob Tremblay spent 3 hours a day getting into makeup. Jacob Tremblay plays Augie. And so Stephen never let any of the other actors see him in makeup until the first shot where he walks into the classroom. That was the first shot that Stephen did with all of the kids. And so everybody's reaction to what Jacob's face looked like was their honest reaction. And that was actually the first time I met him at all. I never saw because I had just showed up that morning. So I never met him without makeup either. I didn't know what Jacob really looked like until we started doing press together months later. It was a great technique by Stephen. I think and you can see it in the shot. All of the reactions that you're getting from the kids are so honest. Yeah, I mean, he's a really great director, great at setting up situations that really allow you to succeed as actors and to make really honest choices.
It sounds like it. And the kids had a question because you said you shot it in 4 days. You just showed up on set and saw Augie like that. How long did it take you to learn your script? Or did the director just let you go with it? It was pretty, I don't know. It sort of happened in real time. I mean, I had the flight on the way over, but it's not a ton of lines. I think when you come from a theater background, when you're used to doing plays where you have to learn an entire story at once and be able to deliver it every night, doing movies and TV shows where things are broken up into very small scenes end up being relatively easy to memorize if the writing is good. That also is a big part of it. Good writing is always easy to memorize. Oh, I'm sure.
And bad writing is always hard.
That's a good lesson for the kids for when they're practicing their writing over the next several years in school. Daveed Diggs, who was Thomas Jefferson and Marquis de Lafayette in Hamilton and is in the new movie Wonder as teacher Mr. Brown. One of the questions the kids came up with, Daveed, are there any relationships between your Hamilton Broadway characters and your Wonder character? Anything similar?
That's interesting. That's a really great question that I never thought of. I think there's a similar sort of spirit between Lafayette and Mr. Brown in an interesting way. I mean, they are both incredibly engaged and energized by their jobs, and they both take their role in life very, very seriously, but also like to do it with a smile on their face. So that's an interesting similarity. And Thomas Jefferson was also just a great champion of education. He was an inventor, and so for all of his flaws, he did. I think he would have appreciated good teachers as well.
The kids also wanted to know if there's a moment in your life that you felt like Augie, and if so, why?
Oh man, I don't know if I've ever felt like Augie, but I certainly have felt like an outsider, or have felt like everybody was staring at me, or for things I couldn't. I mean, it happens all the time. And when I was your student's age, I was very, very nervous and shy. And yeah, and it's one of the reasons I started acting, actually, because it gave me a reason to be. I really like being around people, but I'm super shy. So when I'm acting, I get to be on stage in front of people. And it's not me, and I know what to say and what to do, so I get to be much cooler than I am in real life when I'm performing. That gives me a reason to be around people.
It's the same with radio and me, and I tell you, I had never been popular in school until now. I'm popular in the 5th grade because I'm talking to you, Daveed Diggs from Wonder, and also Hamilton. Quickly, I know I have to let you go in a moment. What recommendations do you have for anybody who hasn't seen the movie yet, who's about to go?
Oh man. Go, enjoy it, bring the whole box of tissues. It gets me every time. And I hope that you come out feeling as inspired as I did after working on it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
So now you have 2 things to watch this weekend, Hamilton and Wonder. That was actor Daveed Diggs, who stars in both. And as I mentioned in the beginning, the Broadway musical Hamilton is now available on Disney+. Disney is in no way sponsoring this podcast. I just mentioned Disney+ because I wanted you to know where you could see Hamilton. By the way, those questions came from kids at Liberty Elementary School in Midway, Georgia, back in 2018. Have a great day, and thank you for listening to the Voice of Laura Anderson podcast.